And tonight we're going to do some songs. We're going to do 3 stories for you. They're all Yukon love stories. They span 3 generations of my family. But for the cynical among you, and I'm sure there are many, fear not. They're Yukon love stories, which means kind of messed up, drunken love stories. Where things rarely go right, and people fall off of things and die early, and there's never enough kindling. And a waitress told me, this whole project started, and a waitress told me that there was only 2 reasons anyone ever went north. And that was love or money. And Veda's gonna start us off.
Lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck. There is the place you know. There is the place you don't know. Curtain number 1, curtain number 1. You are blind, blind, blind. There is where I did this is where I 30 years to draw this map. Now what do you see? You are blind, blind, blind. The city, or your map of the city. You are blind, blind, blind. The city, or your life in the city. Get up every day, crawl out of your cave. You are blind, blind, blind. Battle with the memories. The wall of you, the bears cannot get through. The wall of you, the bears cannot get through. The wall of you. You need the air. You need the freedom. You need to pitch yourself against the hardship of the world. Lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck. There is the place you know. There is the place you don't know. Curtain number 1, curtain number 1. You are blind, blind, blind. You pissed on trees, you've beaten paths. It took 30 years to draw this map. And now what do you see? You are blind, blind, blind. The city, or your map of the city. You are blind, blind, blind. The city, or your life in the city. This is where we are. Are you ready? What was, what is, and what shall be? City of destiny. Blind, blind, city of destiny. Blind, blind, city of destiny. Grab your coat and your popular music. We're taking it to the streets. Luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck, lucky luck.
I put this story together over the last 10 or 12 years, and it's still full of holes. It's a true story, though, in the very same way that an old vase that has been broken into pieces in the sink and glued back together holds water. Maybe, maybe not. But it is no less beautiful to look at. See, this is what I think I know. On October 31st, 1997, my father turned 50 years old. Him and my mother had split up a couple of years Before that, and as far as any of us could tell, he was attempting to drink himself into an early grave. But as always, he never let all that booze get in the way of a solid day's work, right? So he was half in the bag and all the way inside a tanker he was welding on when he heard the phone ring in the little office in the back of his shop. He hung up his torch on the ladder and he crawled out to go get that phone. That phone had been ringing all day. Big family and a big birthday. Big pain in the ass. Yeah. Happy birthday, Dawn. The woman's voice was husky with a little bit of a smoker's rattle. Thanks, he said. He didn't recognize that voice, but he felt like he should. It was something about that voice told him he should know who was calling. It was not really the sound of that voice. It was more like the way she weighted down her words, like they meant something. They chatted a short while. How was he doing? Did he feel old now? That kind of a thing. And finally, she cleared her throat and she paused for a second. She said, "You don't even know who this is, do you?" He said, "Keep talking." See, I was about to figure it out any minute. She said, "I should hang up on you right now." He said, No, don't. No, don't hang up. No, I'll never sleep again for the wondering. No, I'll tell you what, how about you just give me just a little hint? She said, "You forgot our promise." My father took a sharp, short breath and he dropped the pencil he had been fiddling with onto the desk in front of him. He said, "Patsy?" She didn't speak. But she wasn't silent on the other end of the phone line either. No, a small animal-like noise escaped her throat by accident, and 30 years hung in the space between them for a long minute. He repeated her name, more sure this time. "Patsy Joseph," he said. She nodded. But see, he couldn't see her nod now, could he? So she swallowed again. And then she spoke. She said, "Yeah, it's me. And you forgot our promise." My dad tells me this part of the story in his boat, a boat he built. 2003, I think it was. We were in the middle of Marsh Lake up north, trolling one of his sweet spots for lake trout. And Patsy Joseph was his very first real girlfriend, see? He tells me. And she was 2 years older than him. And when they were 17, she was 17 and he was 15, they had made a promise to each other. They promised each other that they were going to call each other on their 50th birthdays, right? No matter where they were. And he had forgotten hers, that bastard. Almost 2 years earlier. But she hadn't. She hadn't forgotten him at all. No. They started talking on the phone quite a bit. Pretty soon it was every day. See, she had left Whitehorse all of a sudden. Her dad had just packed the whole family up because he got himself a job, moved them all to Hope, just outside of Vancouver, right? And the two childhood sweethearts, they never wrote letters or talked on the phone. People just didn't back then, you see, and he was mostly working up in the bush anyway, and so they just lost track of each other. But the story was Patsy Joseph had saved up all of her money from 3 after-school jobs, and she came back up on the Greyhound in the summer of 1969 looking for him. But she found out from one of her girlfriends that he had gotten one of those Dawes girls pregnant. And he was married now. He was building himself a house up in Porter Creek somewhere. Catholic girl, right? What else could he do but the right thing? And Patsy Joseph was devastated. She left town at the end of that summer with a truck driver who told her she had pretty eyes. She ended up in Dawson Creek. Good a place as any, right? She got herself a job in an auto parts place on account of how my dad always made her help him fix up his 1953 Mercury Comet convertible, and so she knew a little about cars, more than most women did back then anyway, and so she still worked at that auto parts place, yeah. 30 years later. And she still lived with that truck driver. Only he didn't drive truck anymore. He was on disability now on account of his bad back. And maybe he could not drive the long hauls like he used to, but he could still beat on her. So they weren't really together anymore. These last couple of years, she lived on the second floor of their house, and he lived on the main floor. And well, she wanted to sell that house, of course, and be rid of him for good, but you know, she couldn't, not right now, not in this market, and so there she was. She told my dad she still loved him. She always had. She told him she even had a couple of his old birthday cards and letters and even some photographs that she had kept hidden away from that truck driver of hers all these years. Jealous and mean, right? You know the type.
Delight of my eyes, bemuse of my days, did you find me easy? All the birds had flown away because I am a danger. A clumsy, stumbling stranger. I am so glad to be here. Was it tough to trap me, bind me, strap me, generally keep me here and happy?
So my father and I, we share a weakness for a lady who needs help. It's true, it feeds something kind of big and empty in us to arrive on the scene with a truck or jumper cables or emergency first aid kit or generator. Kind of a wide open, sort of a dumb heart. We like to think it almost makes up for always saying the wrong thing at a party just when the song ends and the room goes quiet. My dad told his childhood sweetheart that he had not seen in almost 30 years, not to say a single word to that ex-trucker of hers, just to pack up her stuff one day when the guy was asleep and drive to work like it was any other day, just to take the stuff that she really needed, drive to work like it was any other day, and he would meet her there. He would take care of the rest. He would take care of everything. He would take care of her. Oh, and did she have snow tires?
A nest in every roadside tree, a light in every house but me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Crazy, crazy. Did you wanna find me? Tie me